Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I will be giving you my thoughts and reactions to the UFC Fight Night card in Paris. Let me tell you guys something. I am so excited to go over this card for two reasons. First of all, because I am a fucking prediction master already with this shit, bro. First prediction video I put out, and I go 10-3 on them, dude. Like, just call me to go already, you know? Like, I'm already ready for that shit. I'm ready to take on that shit. I'm built different. You know, I had 10-3 on the card, including some sleeper picks that I'm really excited to talk about and get into later in the video. And also the fact that this card was fucking amazing, dude. Like, only, there were 13 fights and only 2 of them went to decision, dude. That's fucking awesome. So there were some real high-quality performances that are going to be worth talking about here and getting excited about what they're going to do in the future. So let's just jump right into this, man. Let's get right into this right here. Starting with Shauna Bannon versus Sam Hughes. Hughes gets the win by a second round rear naked choke. This is a really good win for Hughes. She looked really good in the grappling department here, so that's, you know, I'm excited to see where she goes from here. Not much else to say about it, but I'll be watching out for her, I guess. That looks good. Good win for her here. Second fight, Andreas Gustafsson versus Rinat Fakhretdinov. I only have one thing written here on my notes, and that it says Rinat wins lol. Dude, everyone and their fucking mom was saying, oh, you know, Andreas Gustafsson has a better style. He's gonna make Rena look really bad. Bro, you're forgetting Rena has beaten guys like Brian Battle. He's sub Kevin Lee in under a minute. Who the fuck? And you think Andreas Gustafsson is gonna be the one to beat this guy? Who the fuck has Andreas Gustafsson beat? He's beaten no one. And dude, so yeah, Rena comes in. He looks really good on the feet. Lands a good shot, and then fucking finishes it in sub-minute TKO win. Bro, can we just stop? Like, that's... Can we finally acknowledge this guy as like a true actual competitor and give him a ranked opponent? Just give him a ranked opponent, bro. If he loses, I'll shut up. But like, this guy, he's 23-1-1, and he's fighting on the second fight of the card. He's on a 7-fight unbeaten streak in the UFC. Like, that's insane, dude. Give this guy more credit, bro. Give this guy more credit. I'm telling you, he could be something, man. He could be something. Immediately, I parlay that good prediction with a bad one, and Brad Tavares was Robert Brycek. Tavares, you know, he's 21-11, and he fought like an absolute rookie in this fight. He was getting backed up all the way. He was getting caught with some really quick hands by Robert Brycek. I will give him credit for those quick hands that he's got there, but, you know, he's getting backed up to the fence. His coach is telling him to try to get off the fence. He just keeps going back and back, and then gets caught with a quick hand and loses by TKO. And, wow, that is a... That is a bad loss for Brad Tavares, dude. That is not a good look. I think it may be time to just accept facts, Brad, and that you're washed. It's over, man. It's over. Like, you are not getting you don't have the veteranness now. Like, you aren't getting that card from me no more. I can't just play the veteran card with you anymore because you're losing to fucking Robert Brycek, bro. This guy, oh, he lost to that one fucking guy. I can't remember his name, but god damn, dude. That one annoyed me. Seeing that performance really annoyed me, bro. Anyway, Sam Patterson versus Trey Waters. Dude, Sam Patterson is a fucking good fighter. He looked really good in this fight. I'm really impressed with him. You know, both guys are coming out, and neither one wants to give up possession of control here. Both guys want the other to back up, and neither are willing to, so they just have to keep throwing the best punches that they have. Trey Waters is very technical in all-roundedness in his skills here, so it was really cool to see Sam Patterson put try to put pressure on him, not backing up. When he's a guy that's taller than him, he has some real power in his punches. So as soon as he started able to land a few, he started to get to Trey Waters quite a bit, and then eventually he was able to start backing him up. Yeah, but yeah, he stood his ground against bigger guys, and he was able to use that power to eventually get the TKO win in the first round over Trey Waters. A standing TKO win, was actually a really good stoppage here because it did look like Trey Waters was about to get flatlined here. So good stoppage there. Yeah, Sam Patterson looks great, man. I'm really excited to see what he guys got going forward here. You know, the fact that he actually does like to stand his ground against bigger guys, and that he usually is the bigger guy makes him look really good. Again, a lot of power behind his punches, and has some good untapped grappling that we still have yet to see, but I know it's good. So yeah, that's an awesome win for him. That's someone I really want to watch out for, is Sam Patterson here. I think he's got a really good future ahead of him. Up next, Cowboy Fernandez versus Harry Hardwick. Not too much to say about here. Cowboy came out and did everything he was supposed to do on a short notice fight. And he did so with some brutal leg kicks that were absolutely destroying Harry Hardwick here, who fought resiliently. He really tried to go on, but it was just starting to get to him too much, and he could barely walk by the end, like after like 3 minutes of fighting with him. So, first round TKO via leg kicks win for Cowboy Fernandez. That's a really good thing to have on your resume. So gets a lot of attention on you. So I'm excited to see where he goes very soon, and hopefully it is going to be a quick bounce back. I know, sorry Harry Hardwick, but he didn't really do a lot to him to kind of damage him a lot. So hopefully he's able to have a quick turnaround. We can see him back in the octagon very soon. Up next, Marcin Tybura versus Ante Delija. Dude, Delija is, wow. I was impressed by Ante Delija here. He's got super fast hands for a 35-year-old. He's got like hands of like a fucking 25-year-old. You know, it reminds it like prime Sergey Pavlovich speed in his hands, dude. Like super quick for his age. He started the fight. He came out swinging. He tapped Marcin Tybura a few times, which seemed to have rocked him a little bit because Tybura then had to put him in a clinch to kind of recover for a bit. But then as soon as Delija was able to get out of that, he came right back in, got the 1-2 KO finish. Really good performance from Delija. So yeah, not so much of a good one for Tybura. I don't know I don't know how he's gonna go forward with this and how like where his not legacy, but like how much of a gatekeeper he's still really gonna be coming after this loss. We'll see when he gets paired up with like someone like, I don't know, Mario Pinto maybe. But that was a really good performance from Delija, and I'm excited to see. And it's exciting to finally have like another top heavyweight contender. It's been a while because, you know, these last few like contender series guys really haven't been able to shine through properly. So good performance from Delija. I'm excited we have someone to look forward to in the heavyweight division. The only problem is that he trains with Tom Aspinall, so I don't think I could see him fighting him for the belt. So he's probably going to become like a Amir Abaljo situation where he's going to become a proper gatekeeper for Tom Aspinall, where if you're able to beat Delija, you can now face Tom Aspinall for the belt, which is fine. I think that's a decent role. I think the heavyweight division kind of needs someone like that. But I do see some people beating him. I see maybe like Gane beating him. I'm excited to see how he pairs up with some of the other like kind of grappler dudes, someone like a Jaitan Almeida and a Cyril Gane, and then also someone like a Volkov. You know, I think it would be a really interesting fight in the future. So yeah, exciting stuff for that. Rounding out the prelims card is Umar Sy versus Brenson Ribeiro. Umar Sy, I said in the predictions video that, you know, this was going to be a test for him, like a double check from the UFC to see if he's still someone worthy of, you know, giving big fights to, and he totally fucking is. He totally shined through with this performance. He did way better. He did way more than I thought he was going to in getting the ground and pound TKO while standing over him in the first round. That was a really awesome look. And yeah, I think now he deserves a ranked opponent again. I think he really proved himself here. It's good to see that, you know, like the Menifield fight was just kind of like, a bit weird circumstances, I guess. Just a weird situation there. But now he's bounced back really well. And yeah, hopefully gets another ranked opponent in the light heavyweight division. So a good win for him there. Up next, starting the main card was William Gomez versus Robert Ruchala. So in the first round, Gomez had some really good body kicks and was good at avoiding the right hand from Ruchala. In the second round, it was pretty close, but Gomez was doing more damage. Ruchala still remained pretty active all throughout the fight. It was a really close fight and a good fight at that all throughout. And then in the third round, Ruchala landed a really crazy head kick that looked to have nearly taken out William Gomez, but Gomez was fine. He got the takedowns and was controlling them all throughout the round, which did him enough to get the win. He played this smart. He fought pretty smartly, William Gomez, and I think now he's still proven himself as like a legitimate guy, kind of like Umar Sy, that, you know, someone who still should be fighting ranked opponents in the featherweight division, I believe. So hopefully that's what's up next for him, for Gomez, just to fight another ranked opponent and finally try to get into that position, because I think he does at least deserve a shot at it. So good for him there. Axel Sola versus Reese McKee. I mean, this one makes me a bit sad. I was a bit sad to be wrong about this one. Axel Sola was throwing good left hands throughout the fight. McKee was throwing some good uppercuts and back elbows. There was some good takedown defense on display here throughout the fight as well. But then Sola started to take over slightly with some head kicks and body shots. This really started to seemingly hurt Reese McKee. And then in the end, it was, in regards to the stoppage, I do think it was an early stoppage, but Reese McKee really didn't do himself any favors here. Just the position he was in, you know, like he was in like the standard, like covered up, like hunched over, like on your knees position of submission basically. So, and then it was just a bit too late for him to come back up and start to stand up again before the refs decided that he had seen enough and he looked too weak to continue on. So while I do think it was an early stoppage, I don't think it was totally the ref's fault. I do think Reese McKee played a part in that. and I hope he's able to stick around, man. I hope Reese McKee doesn't get released or cut from the roster because of this loss, man. Because fuck, dude, he is a good fighter. Everyone knows he's a good fighter. He just doesn't have the record that shows it. He's like 14-6 now, but dude, come on, Dana, please give this guy another chance, man. I promise you. You already gave him a second chance, bro. He deserves another chance. Just trust, man. Allow it. Blagioki versus Mason Jones. What a fun fight this was, dude. I enjoyed this one quite a bit. It did go how I predicted it would. I think I did say that Oki would start off pretty strong here, but then Mason Jones would be able to kind of take over and just kind of wear Oki down throughout the fight. It didn't. Oki started very strong, actually. I didn't expect him to go as hard as he did here. I didn't expect him to get a fucking knockdown, dude. That kind of scared me a little bit, but thankfully Nathan Jones was able to rally back. He started using the jab, which was kind of putting more pressure on Oki. That was starting to back him up a bit more, and he was starting to take over. And then finally, Jones was able to start landing his own knockdowns. He's able to take him down, and in the second, he was able to get the ground and pound TKO. Really, really good win for Mason Jones here. I really like Mason Jones, actually. I don't think he's gonna be. I don't heavily rate him as a contender of the lightweight division, but he's someone that could potentially break out in sort of. He just needs the right opponent to see if he could break about, and I think he does deserve a good, strong opponent. I'm trying to think I don't know who he could fight. You know what? Give him Bobby Green. I don't give a fuck. Give him Bobby Green, Drew Dober, someone like that nature. Yeah, Ignacio Bahamondes, maybe, you know, like just one of those guys, just a guy that's for you to be able to like put on, like, to really show what your talents are, you know what I mean? And not to say that Blagioki isn't one of those guys, but you know, we need a more established name to really see how good Mason Jones is. But I do rate Mason Jones, and I do like him quite a bit here, so that was a really good win for him. All right, feature fight of the night: Modestas Bukauskas versus Paul Craig. Impressive win for Bukauskas, you know. It was a pretty even fight going on throughout most of the first. Craig himself did actually look pretty decent. He looked like he had more to bring to the table other than just wrestling. He was doing some good counter shots and doing some good ring movements and all that good stuff here. But he fought more intelligently for sure. But it was towards the last minute in the round that he was clinched up against the fence. He decided to go for a body triangle that really turned out to not be the smartest decision, in fact. But yeah. Bukauskas started putting the pressure on him. He started rocking him a bit more on the ground here, and with like 3 seconds to go in the round, Bukauskas delivered this elbow from fucking hell, dude, that sent him completely out. He, like, the horn ended, Bukauskas got up, but Paul Craig was not getting up, dude. He was out of it completely, and the ref called it right there. Super good win for Bukauskas. He looked really good here. He did everything I expected him to, you know, be able to you know, once he was on the ground, he was able to start fucking landing in some good shots on top. So, yeah, good for him. And then afterwards, Paul Craig retired. He retired from the sport. I think this was a good time for Craig to retire. I think he still had a bit more to prove at middleweight, but I think at his age, probably the weight cut was just a bit too much on him. So he came back to light heavyweight division. And then, yeah, you know, 2 fights later, you know, he's on a 5-fight, like, losing streak. He's 37, you know. I think he's got a lot to think about, and I think maybe it's just one of those things where he just doesn't love it anymore. So it was a good time to retire, in my opinion. It didn't really damage his legacy too bad. He will go down, I think, as one of the best grapplers of the light heavyweight division, you know, in an era where we didn't really see a lot of those, and he has wins on his resume that are aging very, very well. So good for Paul Craig. He had a very good career. A very strong career, and it's just kind of weird to not have at least one, like, Scotsman on the roster. I don't know if there's any other Scotsman on the UFC roster, but I feel like we need to have at least one of those throughout, because I feel like it makes them stand out quite a bit. But happy for Paul Craig to retire. I'm happy for him, you know. I'm not happy to see him go, but yeah, good stuff there. Good win for Bukauskas as well, who I think has some good things lined up for him in the light heavyweight division as well. So, yeah. Very hot division right now, the light heavyweights. Like, we're starting to finally get some guys that are able to come up a bit more. and then our co-main event. Now listen, guys. Listen. After I dropped my predictions video, people asked me, you know, what will you say to the people about BSD when Rufy eventually gets the win over him? I guess we'll never know. BSD, finally! Dude, I've been saying this. He finally locked in. He finally brought the fight IQ I was looking for in him. He finally fought intelligently, like I know he could. And he gets the second round submission win over Mauricio Rufy. I'm not even that happy about this. As a fan, I really wanted Mauricio Rufy to actually be the next Conor McGregor and have one of those amazing runs here. And this would have been an amazing fight to prove it, you know? But, like, damn, dude. How many people is it that now that have beaten Bobby Green, but then have gone on to lose their next fight? This is, like, the third dude, right? Him, Jalen Turner. There was another fucking guy. Who was it? Drew Dober. Like, how... What the fuck, man? It's at this point, I no longer see Bobby Green wins as impressive. It's always going to be about who the next fight, right, and how they do. And in this case, it didn't turn out well for Mauricio Rufy. But like I said, BSD locked in. He did what he needed to do. I was actually surprised by how much pressure he was applying in the first round. I thought he'd be a lot more cautious and wary of the strikes that Rufy was going to throw. But Rufy actually didn't end up throwing too many strikes in the first. He looked kind of like... He had a kind of deer in the headlights look. He looked like the pressure was kind of getting to him a little bit, and I think BSD was able to take advantage of that. He went for the head kick takedown. He went for the head kick into the takedown, which he was able to secure. I will say Rufy's takedown defense is actually pretty good. He did look pretty good here in the grappling department as well. But he just kind of made some wrong choices throughout the fight. Like, I think that trying to constantly get the stand-up game wasn't really the smartest thing to do. I think you could have at least landed a few elbows before you decided to switch back up to standing up. But yeah, he didn't look totally on his game here. Unlike fucking BSD, who was landing some good takedowns, some good clinches here, some good submission game, some good smothering of him on top here, and some good control, man. I will say, I still think his striking looked a bit weak this fight, and you know, the head kick KO was something that you could have probably easily predicted a bit more, given like a stronger opponent. But I have faith, right? I have faith in BSD that he actually really just fights the way you're supposed to against certain opponents. You know, when you're battling someone who has all these knockout wins, you fight him like you go for the takedown. You apply the takedown pressure a lot, which is what I said he needed to do, and I'm glad that he was able to do it here. Because I'm telling you, bro, this guy will eventually have a title fight. BSD, this is the start, right? This is the start of the BSD title fight like fucking campaign right here. And I don't want any fucking bandwagoners after UFC 299 saying this guy was fraud checked and he was washed. I don't want you fucking guys there. I want me there. We are there, not you. I am there on top. Fucking celebrating right next to BSD, bro. Giving him a fucking wrapping my legs around him and giving nothing like that. But yeah, good win for BSD here, man. That was good shit for him, bro. And then finally, main event time: Kyle Borrello versus Nasruddin Imavov. This was a super close fight. Like, I really thought it'd be. It was close in a way it was close in a way I actually didn't think it would be. I thought it'd be more of a split decision, but it was more just split rounds all throughout the fight itself. And with that being said, like, the judges gave it 50-45 to Imavov, which I don't totally disagree with. You know, I think, you know, you could argue. I've heard people argue that round 5 was pretty close. I didn't think it was that close. I thought round 5 was pretty arguably Imavov, but I thought rounds 1 and 3 you could give to Borrello, which I ended up doing. My scorecard was 48-47 Imavov, but still, regardless, Imavov did enough to get the win. He was doing a lot more controlling than I thought he was going to be able to. He looked good in the exchanges. He was doing a lot of damage. He was kind of like... He's really calculated with what strikes he takes. Like, he's a really, really accurate fighter, I think, honestly. And it made him look... And he, you know, it was enough to continuously put the pressure on Borrello, who I think could have done more. I think he needed to throw a bit more jabs during the fight. I think that would have done a lot for the control time and trying to throw Imavov off his game a bit more, because he was actually pretty successful when he did throw jabs. So I would have liked to have seen a bit more jabs from him, but still, he looked pretty decent. He shot a few good takedowns. Imavov's takedown defense is really stellar, man. Like, he had some really good defenses of takedowns here in this fight. And then, of course, also, we have fucking eye pokes here. I mean, both guys, like, you know, every fight they've had will have an eye poke in it, so no surprise that there were eye pokes in here. I am surprised that the second one didn't result in a loss of points. I can only imagine that I can only imagine that is because the first one was so obviously accidental. So the fact that he was able to like, kind of get the second one, like the fact that when the second one happened, he's like, this is a hard warning. Because I think again, the first one looks so accidental that the second time around kind of merits like the first warning of it. So I don't have a huge problem with that. I wouldn't have had a problem if they took a point anyway. I probably would have, despite how accidental the first one looked. But I think that's the reason why Mark Goddard didn't take a point. But aside from that, yeah, Imavov looked good, super controlling, had some super calculated punches. He looked better in the exchange, and he had some good takedown defense. And he will probably fight Khamzat Chimaev next. I don't think he's going to be next opponent of Khamzat Chimaev. I think he will fight the winner of RDR Hernandez next. But I do see Imavov taking his time, going on a little bit of a break, and finally waiting until he's going to be next line, because he's been super active all up towards his come up here towards the title, and I think he does obviously deserve a title shot. So I hope to see him get that soon. I think it will be an interesting fight. Again, the takedown defense makes me very interested to see how he will do against someone like Khamzat. I don't think necessarily he'd I don't want to try to predict who'd win that fight between those two now, but I think like it's just fucked up against Khamzat, right? Because your takedown defense could be amazing, but like he's still probably just going to take you down. It'll be just interesting to see how he's able to get out of those takedowns. Because I do think Imavov has the strength to actually get out of some of the takedowns that Khamzat could apply. So it's actually a really intriguing fight. I think it's more intriguing than people give it credit for. So anyway, as for Bahalo, I don't know. Go back to the Apex, dude. Not a good night for fighting nerds, man. That was not a good night. Not a complete fraud check, but I think we've kind of found where they kind of sit now. Like if all four of them went for the title, that would have been insane, dude. Like, but like it's tough, man. It's tough. It would have been insane. It would have. It'll be a big what if, I guess, maybe. But anyway, we have Jean Silva next to look up forward to, and I don't think he wins that fight against Lopez either. So we'll see. We have a lot to look forward to. This was a great fucking card. I enjoyed this all the way through. Again, amazing finishes here, amazing performances. Dana White was right to give out 4 performance of the night bonuses because everyone here performed really, really well. So this was an awesome card to watch. So cool. That's honestly, yeah, that's gonna do it for me, man. Well, let me know what you guys thought of the event in the comments down below. If you got what your prediction score looked like at the end. Be sure to like the video, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy and want to see more from me. But yeah, man, that's going to do it for me. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.